Brooklyn Independent Television.
Top-ranked former Olympic fencer Dan Kellner started the Brooklyn Bridge Fencing Club to impart some of his vast knowledge of the sport to the next generation. Check me out as I attempt my first fencing lesson.
My name is Dan Kellner, and I'm the coach and owner at the Brooklyn Bridge Fencing Club in DUMBO, Brooklyn. I started fencing when I was 13 years old. I had a video game for my Commodore 64 computer with fencing on it. I wasn't very good at it, but I was just really intrigued by the sport of fencing. And I asked my mother about it, and she told me to go see the coach. 15 years later, I was on the 2004 U.S. Olympic team and ranked first in the country, first in the hemisphere, and 10th in the world. The Olympics was a great experience. It was one of the best ones of my life. I knew from a really early age that I wanted to be on an Olympic team, and I was 28 when I finally got to compete in the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens, Greece. At the end of my competitive career, I took a little break and decided I really wanted to still be involved with the sport. So I started coaching in Brooklyn and then eventually opened up my own fencing club.
Dan's a really good coach. He explains things well, and he's really patient. He always finds different ways to show how to do things for each student because we all learn differently.
Dan is very instructive. When you do something wrong, he'll stop you, make you do it over for you to get it right. Also, when you're losing in a bout, he'll give you instructions, don't give up. And if you lose the bout, he'll say what you did well, what you did wrong, and he'll say hopefully make a corrections to make you better.
Keep that elbow tucked in. Much better, much better. I think what initially attracted me to fencing was just the idea of sword fighting. I was a really big Star Wars fan, so it was like playing with lightsabers. And then once I learned more about the sport, there was a tactical aspect to the sport. There was an aspect that you had to not just be physical, not just be athletic, but also be smart and outthink your opponent. And that's why sometimes fencing is called physical chess. You've got to be able to think 3 moves ahead of your opponents. But in chess, where the physical execution of the game is easy, you're just picking up a chess piece and putting it down. In fencing, the physical execution is also really, really hard because you're just trying to defeat what your opponent's doing at the same time, and you're moving really fast and the distance is very close. There's a lot of complicated actions going on.
What got me into fencing was that I went to an open house because I wanted to do a sport, and so then I got interested in it that way.
Yeah, I like everything. You get to hit people, people get to hit you, you get a touch, you get to, express your feelings through it, go to tournaments, win, hopefully. Sometimes they hit you on your knees and you get a lot of bruises, cuts, so it hurts a lot.
There aren't that many places to fence in Brooklyn, and one of the reasons I opened this place up was so I could give something back to Brooklyn, to the borough that I live in, the borough that I love, and have a place for high-level Olympic fencing in Brooklyn. My plans for the future are to hopefully expand and take on more coaches and students. Whether that happens or not, I'll be happy just coaching here. I just really love teaching, and I really love giving back and teaching people what I know.
I'm really looking forward to learning a bit about fencing. I've never had a class. So, you're going to talk me through some of the footwork and...
We're going to start with the basic footwork. So let's get started. Keisha, what I need you to do is just turn your right foot 90 degrees so it's facing the wall. Now I'd like you to step out with your right foot so your feet are shoulder width apart.
Okay, shoulder width apart.
Good. Now just bend both your knees evenly. Good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your one arm up like this.
Okay.
I'm going to take the other arm, we're going to put up like this. And now you're in the unguard position. This is our fencing position. We're going to learn a step forward, which in fencing is called an advance.
Okay.
So the first thing you want to do is you want to pick your toe up. And what you want to do is you want to pick your toe up, bring your foot forward 6 inches, and have your front, good, there you go, good. I want you to take the same size step with your front foot and your back foot.
Okay.
Okay, and you want to, just like when you're walking down the street, you don't want to drag your feet, you don't want to trip over anything. The same thing in fencing, so you want to just pick your foot up, put it down and follow with your back foot. Good. Don't drag your feet. Try and keep your feet shoulder width apart at all times.
Okay.
So
there's a lot to remember in fencing. Okay.
So now what I want you to try and do is I want you to try and do it without leaning backwards. I want you to keep your weight nice and centered.
Okay.
And nice and smooth. There you go. Good. Don't drag your feet. Pick your foot up a little bit.
Okay.
Good. There you go.
Dan, you were telling me there's one more piece of footwork that we have to master, or at least learn.
Well, the last piece of footwork we have to learn is called the lunge, and this is how we attack people, because in fencing we actually want to hit the person.
I like that.
So what I'm going to ask you to do is please get into your on guard again.
Okay.
Good. And line your back heel up. Good. There you go. Hold your hand up and on guard. Good. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is extend your arm.
Okay.
Good, like you're holding a phone and you're hitting somebody. And I want you to kick out with your front foot and push with your back leg.
Okay, so like.
There you go, good. And then when I say recover, good, come back to your on guard, good. Now that we know the footwork a little bit, let's go just a little bit. Let's get you a glove and a foil and we'll teach you how to hit a target. How's that sound?
Sounds fun. Okay, so now we are outfitted with a glove and a foil.
Correct. And now that we've gone over the footwork a little bit, I'm going to teach you how to hit the target. Okay. And then we're going to put the two together. So Keisha, I'd like you to get back into your on guard. Okay. Good. And I'd like you to hold your hand up like this. Good. And you want to keep your thumb on the top of your foil like this. Okay. And you want to keep a fist length distance between your elbow and your body. I just want you to pretend that somebody's pulling your tip forward and lifting your elbow up, and you're just going to extend your arm. Good, and push with your fingers and hit the target. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do is you're going to start with your extension, and right after you start your extension, I just want you to take a nice, smooth, small step forward and hit the target so it looks like this. Okay. Start your extension, then after you start your extend, and now move your feet, both feet. 1, 2, good. So what I need you to do is just bend your knees.
Right.
Good. Extend your arm. Kick with your front leg and push with your back leg. Good. Very nice. So now that we've learned how to do our footwork and we've learned how to hit the target with an extension and a lunge, the last thing we do when we end a lesson is we salute each other. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is just pick your foil up to your face like this and just down to the ground. Good, then we just step forward and shake hands.
Okay.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at breakartsmedia.org/BIT.